Hey guys, what's up, Cardfight here, and today I'm here with a Secret Regalia deck profile, or a Regalia deck profile, whatever you want to call it. So I've been playing with this deck for a lot, and there's a lot of different lineups I've been running. I've been trying Midnight, and Yggdrasill, and, Angelica, and all that. But this build is what I, like to run. It's the more aggressive, it's the most aggressive build, in my opinion, for me. And yeah, let's just get right into the deck profile. So starting Vanguard, we run she is the new Legion starting Vanguard for Regalias. When your Vanguard is in Legion, you may put this card into Soul, and then you can Soul charge 3. You can Soul charge 3, and then your Vanguard gets plus 5,000 power. It's pretty good because it pumps up your Vanguard, which you want. And you can reduce her if you want, but normally you're probably going to stay in Yggdrasill and not re-Legion unless you have to. For example, if you're running cards out of your deck or something. Next, we run for Yggdrasill. Legion rare. So Yggdrasill skill is Soul Charge 6. Soul Blast 6, sorry. As the Soul Blast 6, when this card attacks Vanguard and this card's in Legion, you may pay the costs. If you do, during that battle, this card gets +1 critical, and your opponent cannot call Great 1 or above units to the Guardian Circle. So basically, it's a Glory Maelstrom, except it gets an extra critical, which is pretty amazing balls because you're gonna devastate your opponent's hand. They'll be like, "Oh, I can't use a Perfect Guard, crap." So. Or a Quintet Wall. So yeah, it's pretty good. And the second skill is when this card attacks, it gets plus 3,000 power, or a third skill, whatever you want to call it. Since I don't really consider Legioning a skill, it's more like, it's kind of like Lord, but anyway. Next, I'm on 3 Minerva. Minerva is, in my opinion, a very good combination with her, because sometimes when you can't get that 6th soul, the next best option is to ride Minerva if you have it in hand, because again, this is like another boss monster, so it's very powerful. And yeah, so I have seen builds in Japan that run 4 Minerva, four Yggdrasill, 1 Minerva, and then 2 Angelicas. I don't like running Angelicas because I think it's a little too slow, but that's just my opinion. You can try that build out if you want, but this is what I like. 2 boss monsters, pretty good. I don't like Midnight Regalia because Soul Blasting, the only way you can get you Soul Blast, use her skill to Soul Blast, is to use her second skill. And in order to use her second skill, you need to have not that many cards in your hand. So she is very situational, in my opinion. Yeah, so Soul Blast 3 to draw a card if you have 3 cards or less in your hand. Unless you are losing or you use Legion with her early game, she's not that useful. So I'd rather have Yggdrasill crit my opponent early game versus early game and late game versus just having Midnight early game. So next I run 3 Herman. When this card is called, you can choose 3 Regalia units in your drop zone and put them into your soul. So mainly you're using this to recycle your Norns. Run 3 because early game you're not going to have that many Regalia units in your drop zone to put in. So I'd rather make space for other units to run. You'll see later on. Next I run 4 Norn. Obvious skill is when this card's put into drop zone from your soul, your Vanguard gets plus 5,000 power. So she is very good with both Vanguards. Yeah, not much else to say about that. Next, I run Freya, 3 Freyas. Mainly, you're going to use her to soul charge 3. Her main skill is soul charge 3, but her plus 5,000 power is obviously a bonus. You can hit some pretty magical numbers with her. So yeah, mainly you're gonna have her skill is when your Vanguard is in +1. When your Vanguard legions, you may +1 to soul charge 3, and then this unit gets plus 5,000 power. So she's pretty good. Of course, she doesn't work with Minerva, but when you're in Minerva, there you have other cards to use to hit numbers. So yeah. Next, I run 2 Goddess of whatever Jupiter. I run her as a backup because when you are in Minerva, you can't really form magical numbers with the 6Ks that I run in this deck, which is like 2, but and the Quintet Walls, but probably not gonna call those. So I run Jupiters for early game attacks, and when you're in when you're in Minerva, you can still form magical numbers with Ordained Owl. So yeah. Grade 1s, I run the Grade 1 version of Herman. So when you go call this into Rearguard Circle, you can choose 3 Regalia units and put them into your soul. Again, you're going to recycle Norns with this. Yeah, not much else to say about that. Mainly use her because she's a Regalia, and you can recycle Norns. So yeah, because Grade 1 has less, it still has quite a bit of options, but less, I guess. Next, I run 2 Junos. She's a 10k attacker. This is another card that can help you form magic numbers with Ordained Owl, and she is also a 7k booster, so that's not bad. Next, I run 2 Ordained Owls. He's still a pretty good card. So yeah, you can choose from a drop zone 1 Grade 3 Regalia unit and put it to your bottom of the deck. And then you can choose a Grade 3 Regalia unit on your field, and it gets plus 5,000 power. So you can use this as many times as you want, as long as you have Grade 3s in your drop zone to put into the bottom of the deck. And this card helps you form magic numbers, of course. So yeah, pump up your Yggdrasill and Minerva to hit for very big numbers. This deck is all about hitting big numbers, so yeah. Next, I run 2 of the Soul Charge. Or wait, no, Counterblast 1. When this gets placed in a Rearguard Circle, you may pay the cost, which is Counterblast 1, and then you can choose a Regalia unit, a Regalia Vanguard, and it gets plus 1,000 power and a new skill. When this card attack hits, you may Soul Blast 3, and you can draw a card. This card is very good because mainly you're going to use her with Minerva. You could use it with this, but that'll cost you Soul Blast 9 during that turn, so that's quite a steep cost even for this deck. So mainly you're going to use it with Minerva when you want to. Because if you attack twice, your opponent's probably going to let one attack through if if they don't have a perfect guard. So yeah. So that mainly you're just going to use her for the 5,000 power. So yeah. And she's pretty cute, so nothing wrong there. Next, I run 1 Perfect Guard because this deck does run more Counterblast than a deck that doesn't run Minerva. So yeah, and sometimes there's just cards that swing from way too big that you can't guard with a Quintet Wall. So yeah, and then I run 3 Quintet Walls because you want to mill your drop zone very fast, and getting this off when your opponent first writes in Grade 3 is very useful. Next, I run 12 crit and 4 heal. This is a pretty YOLO build, but I'm all about the YOLOs, so yeah. I don't run the draw. The draw is very good. It is actually really, really good, but I like running crits because both my Vanguards, basically if your opponent has a 3 damage and you flip a critical trigger and then you win, it's a pretty easy game. I actually want to run 16 crit, but that's a bit too risky. So I'm just gonna keep those 4 heals in. So yeah. But the problem with running the spinning crits is that this card since it doesn't run Angelica, you might be a little bit low on hand. But that's fine. You have this deck is pretty fast, so you can finish your opponent off pretty fast if you keep on getting her skill off, and then finish her with Minerva if you didn't flip enough crits. But it's pretty hard not to flip a lot of crits because you run so many crits. Yeah. Also, she helps you with a bit with the hand problem. So, yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it with this deck. It's very fun to play. It's very, very, very YOLO. It's pretty competitive. I can beat Riser decks and Single Saber decks with this deck. And Abyss decks. So, yeah. But it's around equal since those are all tier 1 decks right now. I'll make a meta video pretty soon. But yeah, this is a Card Haku, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!